Good day, I'm Natasha Redis for InfoZone TV. We're out at Waterkloof Air Force Base. It's the 1st of October 2011. I've with me Mr. A.Arner from the Lockheed Martin Business Development side based in Fort Worth, Texas. And we have a couple of questions for Mr. Arner on this particular aircraft that we're standing in, which is the C-130, an aircraft that is primarily deployed for search and rescue purposes. And the South African industry has really got a need to upgrade aircraft in this particular side of our aviation department, Ed, and I would like to know what the difference what this aircraft would really bring to the South African market should we in the coming years decide to opt for buying one of the J models. If you could just brief us a little bit on that.
Sure. The purpose of this aircraft is search and rescue. The HC stands for a search and rescue operation. This aircraft also, however, does refueling. Now, the latest version of this aircraft is the C-130J model, or the HC-130J, again, a rescue type aircraft. South Africa's need for maritime surveillance, long-term maritime surveillance, and search and rescue means that an aircraft like this in the J version, which has the additional speed available, would allow the South Africans to both do search and rescue, maritime surveillance of their Zone 7, the exclusion zone, search and rescue response, long range, as well as refuel their Gripens and Hawks, all out of the same platform.
Wow. If you could just tell us, has the American government sent anybody into our market? Have you done any really in-depth study on what our immediate needs are and how you could service that? And do we have a need for this aircraft in our country?
We believe that the need for maritime surveillance is very clearly understood by the South Africans, and that this aircraft would clearly give a robust capability to the South Africans addressing that market. We have offered to the South African government, to Arms Corps, to the Air Force, operational analysis that we've done both on airlift, on maritime surveillance, as well as tanking capability. Our tanking airlift analysis will be presented this week here in South Africa. We've done that because we don't want just claims that we can meet their requirements and help them to just be claims, but we'd very much like to demonstrate that through operational data, and that's what we've been providing. We don't ask for their requirements per se, but we perceive their requirements and say, if these are your requirements, this aircraft can do this to meet them. Over time, they may ask through an RFI process for specific information that will more accurately address their needs, and we stand ready to do that.
Wonderful. For the rest of the world, how many of these particular aircraft fly? What are your production capabilities, and what is the lead time on orders for the aircraft?
The production capabilities right now are 36 aircraft per year are being produced in our facility in Marietta, Georgia. The C-130J has now populated over 200 aircraft in the field to at least a dozen different customers. The particular model that you're standing in, the HC-130 version, the first one of these aircraft in the J version, which has the improved propulsion system and the integrated avionics, the new capabilities, the very first one of those HC-130Js was delivered to Davis-Monthan by General Schwartz just last week. So this aircraft in this configuration will be produced, and obviously the United States government and the South African government collaborate together as to what may be available and offered for sale if requested.
The South African current BZ model, and we obviously need to look at really bringing something new to the market very soon. If South Africa had to place an order, and what do you foresee? What have the South African government given you any indication of when we might be looking at ordering any of these aircraft?
No, we're really providing information. We believe that if we provide effective, clear, and complete information, they'll be able to make a good decision whenever that time comes. A lot of study has gone into, by the South African Air Force, how long the BZs will last, and I know they are very carefully addressing those requirements and taking care of extending the life of those aircraft over time. When they decide that they're going to replace either those aircraft or to purchase additional aircraft, such as a configuration like this, which would not duplicate the BZ, it's about a 3-year lead time to build the aircraft. It would probably take a year or more for them to contract and get all the specs and requirements together. So really you're talking between 4 and 5 years from the time someone decides to go and replace aircraft or to add additional aircraft.
Ed, in closing, before we thank you for your participation in this interview, your experience in South Africa at the moment, the Waterkloof Airshow, and what you feel that you brought to the country in the immediate. What did you bring to us?
I've been traveling here for probably the last 16 months, and it's been an extraordinary experience. I find the people informed and receptive and engaging. So I couldn't ask for anything more in terms of making personal contacts as well as the professional operations and discussions that we've had. So we're very delighted to be here.
What an incredible opportunity to have somebody from the American market really bring this valuable information and opportunity for the South African market. It might be long term, but it's definitely in the pipeline, and we're really looking forward to it, and we would like to thank you as a country and as an aviation industry for your continued support to us.
Indeed.
Thank
you
you
very
much for your time. Thank you.